Hey everybody, welcome back. We've got Dave Nunn of Windance Boardshop in Hood River with us today. And Dave, I wanted to ask you a little bit about, the Columbia Gorge is one of the world's leading spots for wind sports.
Right.
And why is it so windy here? Do you know?
Well, I'm no meteorologist, but it's pretty basic. We've got the Pacific Ocean out there, which is cold, and then the deserts in the summer, which get quite hot, and a canyon, which we call the gorge, running in between the two. So that hot air rises, the cold air comes in, and the bigger the difference on the pressure, the faster the wind comes. And whenever you take wind, which is going through a tunnel, and then squeeze the tunnel into a narrower canyon or gorge, it accelerates. It's that Venturi effect. Okay. So the kiters and the windsurfers look to where the pressure change differences are the greatest, and they go to that section of the river. So at Windance, we have all that on a map on the computer. There's a company called iWindsurf or iKitesurf that provide all that data, and you can sign up and be a subscriber to get that. And so what happens is we're all looking for that wind, and it's big. 25 knot day, which is a little over 27 miles an hour, is commonplace here.
Now, does that actually translate also to how fast the sailor is going? Like if it's, say, a 25 knot day, are they potentially going 25, 26, 27 miles an hour?
Well, it's kind of neat that you asked that question right now, because the world's speed sailing record is falling regularly right now. For years it was a sailboat, right? And then in the, 90s, a windsurfer took it away from the sailboat guys. And now kiters are grabbing it now and then. But there's this giant sailboat that is the French are building, and it's taking the record. But get this, those guys are going over 50 miles an hour, approaching 60 miles an hour. And the sailboaters are doing it in 20, 25 miles an hour of wind.
Really?
So you can go faster than the speed of wind. And here in the gorge on a 25 knot day, you can be going 30, 35 knots of board speed, no problem, which feels on water like 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. I'm just thinking, when I've been out there, and I know I'm not going anywhere near that speed, and it feels like I'm screaming.
Right.
It's like you keep kind of sheeting in, pulling in a little more, and then you're just like, whoa,
yeah.
this is incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. So the gorge, compared to some of the other places that you've sailed, what do you think sets the gorge apart? I mean, obviously it's a river, which is unique. Mm-hmm. But what are some of the other unique factors, do you think, of the gorge?
Well, here's one that's completely unique: is the wind and the water are going opposite directions. So most places where you're sailing, you're fighting to stay upwind. The wind wants to blow you downwind. But here in the gorge, we've got Mount Hood and Mount Adams draining all this water into the Columbia River. So it's moving quickly to the west, but the wind is blowing to the east. So really, if you want to go upwind, you can just lay your sail down and drift upwind.
Really?
Yeah. And then we've got that.
I've never done that.
Yeah, it's one way to do it. So it's easy to stay upwind here at the gorge. And then also, this water going down makes for big rolling swell. Hard to call them exactly waves. They're not like the coast, but they're big swell. And on a big day, 6 to 10 foot swell is something else to hit going full speed.
What about the river? I mean, there was Hanford and different pollutants that have happened there. What have you seen or have you been involved with as far as kind of helping get that cleaned up, get that turned around maybe?
Right. Well, I'm on the board of directors for the Columbia Gorge Windsurfing Association, and I watch what the Columbia Gorge Kiteboarding Association is doing. And both groups, we're watching river water quality, and it's really pretty good these days. I mean, the river does flush itself out regularly, and there's the pollutants put in have been cut back severely, so we're good that way, I think. Uh-huh. The big issue in the gorge is access. We need more sites where we can park our car and get to the water. But with train tracks going up and down both sides of the gorge, we are often not allowed to step over the train tracks, which the funny thing is, that's considered dangerous, but going out on the water with a kite attached to you is far more dangerous. So I think if we can handle that, we're able to step across train tracks.
Yeah.
So we really need more launch sites, and that is going to require a lot of government agencies and big corporate empires to allow us to do that. Both of those associations I mentioned are ready and waiting to build the site if we can get access to it.
So the biggest hindrances then are, what agencies?
Well, I don't have all the names on the top of my head, but the Port of the Dalles, the Port of Hood River are two that allow us to have access. The trains are two different organizations as far as I understand on both the north and the south side of the river. We need their approval. And then the highway, for example, on this side, ODOT, the Oregon Department of Transportation, will have to allow us to build off-ramps and on-ramps. We can't afford that, so that's really going to require their funding to build the off-ramp, build the parking lot where we want to launch, and then a bridge to get over or under the train tracks.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if we want to Gorge to maintain being, an epicenter for recreation in North America, it's what's required.
I didn't realize that there was work being done right now to try and improve the sites and
there really
expand.
Is, yeah.
So that's good.
And the same goes with other sports that are popular in the Gorge, like mountain biking. We really could use more trails, and there's a backup of trail builders who want to dig and get out there in the winter and build the trail for the coming season, but we're having trouble with getting access to land.
Well, Dave, I could talk to you forever. I mean, you've got all kinds of stories. Very interesting guy. Really appreciate you coming on the show, but we got to wrap it up. So thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time on Localite. Have a great day. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.